All right, so we have another loaded show coming your way on the 49ers Report as always, but first, 49ers taking on the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football, and we do have a Broncos channel here at Chat Sports. So you see this video right here. I'm going to put the link for this video on the pinned comment. It's called the Broncos Breakdown. That's our Broncos channel, and I want you to type FPD as many times as you can in the comment section. The host for the Broncos Breakdown, Matthew Peterson. We call him Petey here at Chat Sports. So type FPD to show him that Niners fans don't play around and to show him that San Francisco going to dominate this game and finally take down Russell Wilson on Sunday Night Football. Do that right now. Let's get into these trade rumors right now. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jay Senior. Hope all of the faithful out there having a phenomenal week. Really a phenomenal matchup coming your way on Sunday Night Football. But today's show, all presented and brought to you by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. It's pretty crazy to see how much Chat Sports has grown over the last year and a half. March 1 of last year, I was the 8th employee hired. We now have 20 employees here at Chat Sports as we continue to take over as the best, most informative, most interactive digital sports network out there, and we just expanded our offices with more studios. We wouldn't be able to do it without LinkedIn Talent Solutions. We can post our jobs for free and bring in quality candidates. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. Post your job for free today so that you, like us here at Chat Sports, can start to add to your arsenal with your employees. So what we're really getting into on today's show, all of the latest 49ers trade rumors, and the trade deadline several weeks away. But we do know that the 49ers need to upgrade their roster potentially in a certain amount of areas at some key spots, given the injuries that have taken place and the lack of depth. So we start off at the quarterback position. So Bleacher Report linked Mason Rudolph, the current backup for the Pittsburgh Steelers, to the San Francisco 49ers. Why? Trey Lance out for the year. Kyle Shanahan confirming that this week. Jimmy Garoppolo is now QB number 1, and Brock Burdy is now the backup quarterback. Now this week, as we talked about a couple of days ago, the 49ers did sign Kurt Benkert to the practice squad. But if Garoppolo or Purdy were to get injured, or if you're not confident in your quarterback depth, Mason Rudolph is one of the better and more available backup quarterbacks out there because right now he is backing up Mitchell Trubisky as well as Kenny Pickett. And he does have a lot of experience in the National Football League. Going back to his college days at Oklahoma State, he flashed certainly as a passer. Now, going into the NFL, he really hasn't been crazy by any means in terms of his statistical production, but he has made a few starts in the NFL, 10 starts to be exact. He's completed nearly 62% of his passes. He's thrown for nearly 2,400 yards, 16 touchdowns to 11 interceptions with a quarterback rating just shy of 81. Those numbers really average if you think about it, but for a backup quarterback, if you needed him to spell a Garoppolo or a Brock Purdy to fill in Kyle Shanahan's offense, there are certainly worse options out there, and honestly, Mason Rudolph and Kyle Shanahan's scheme, pretty intriguing if you ask me. And with Garoppolo, he's won a lot of games here in the Bay Area. 71% of his starts, he has been victorious. There are only a couple of other quarterbacks in the NFL with the higher winning percentage with at least 15 career starts: Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes. So Garoppolo is certainly in an elite category. And for Mason Rudolph, he's also won a decent amount, 5-4-1 in his career. Now, here's the deal, though. He did sign and re-sign with Pittsburgh on a one-year deal worth about $6 million. San Francisco right now, $2.5 million in cap space. So you need to alleviate some cap room in order to bring him in, but he would be a viable backup and short-term starter for this football team. So here is our trade idea that we wanted to cook up for you. Mason Rudolph to the Bay, and the Steelers receive a 2023 fifth-round pick. We'll ask you your thoughts on this coming up here in just a few moments, but first, have to give a shout out to LinkedIn Talent Solutions. As I said, here at Chat Sports, we've been able to grow, and a big reason for that, all of you for supporting everything that we do, subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, commenting, and just coming back for more content, as I believe we give you some of the best content out there. But also, we've been able to grow because of LinkedIn Talent Solutions. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Talent Solutions. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Then you add your job in purple hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word when you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so that you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and who you'd like to hire. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates that you want to talk to faster than anybody else. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. One more time, that's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions certainly do apply. So with that, let me ask you this question. We popped up the trade idea between San Francisco and Pittsburgh. Would you give up a 5th-round pick for Mason Rudolph? Want to hear from you in the comments section? Put your general manager hat on and be John Lynch for a day. D for do the deal, P for pass. Let me know right now in the comment section. As for the running back position, we talked about quarterback already, obviously. A little bit thin there in terms of the backups and the depth. Running back, same conversation can be had. With the 49ers shorthanded in the backfield, does San Francisco need to trade for a running back? Well, there's an interesting name, an interesting trade candidate out there. Who is it? D'Ernest Johnson for the Cleveland Browns. Last year when Kareem Hunt went down, he was the backup for Nick Chubb, and he played really well. He's also a scheme fit. Kevin Stefanski does a lot of the same things that Kyle Shanahan likes to do. And here's the deal about D'Ernest Johnson. He is not even playing right now. Throughout the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, he has been inactive. He has been DNP'd. And when you take a glance and a gander at the Niners running back depth chart going into Sunday right now, it looks as though, as of now, they might only have 3 active running backs. This is a problem because running backs go down like flies, seemingly, in Kyle Shanahan's system. And on the opening 53-man roster, they had 5 running backs occupying those 53 spots. And right now, it's Jeff Wilson, it's Jordan Mason, the UDFA, and it's Marlon Mack, who, yes, back in 2019, rushed for more than 1,000 yards, eclipsing that really impressive threshold. But this is a guy who just got elevated from the practice squad and couldn't even make the Houston Texans active roster. Now, with what D'Ernest Johnson was able to do last year, I went back, watched some of the video of what he was able to do throughout the preseason and last year, does bring some physicality to that running back spot. Can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield. It's really not his specialty, though. His path is really fascinating, though. Took him a while to carve out a role in the NFL. And I'll tell you what, last year, 100 carries, 534 yards, average yards per carry, 5.3 with 3 touchdowns. If you were to put him in Kyle Shanahan's scheme, given the player that he is and the caliber of him toting the rock, and the fact that Kyle Shanahan basically produces with any running back that you give him, D'Ernest Johnson, with that affordable contract, could be a great value play for San Francisco. So with that, I ask you this. Who would be the best running back on this roster if the Niners traded for D'Ernest Johnson? This is kind of fantasy football world, but it's fun nonetheless. DJ for D'Ernest Johnson, JW for Jeff Wilson, JM for Jordan Mason, MM for Marlon Mack. Honestly, I might have to go DJ right now in the comment section, but I love the future of Jordan Mason. Coming up next on the show, San Francisco's defense throughout the first 2 weeks of the regular season has been absolutely phenomenal. And right now, Niner fans, you have to enjoy defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans while he's still here. He interviewed for the Minnesota Vikings head coaching vacancy that went to Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay's sidekick. They just got thumped by the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. It could be a good hire, but here's the deal. DeMeco Ryans, in my opinion, in my belief, he's going to be a fantastic hire for whoever is looking for a head coach. Now, what's going against him, he's a defensive guy. But if he rounds out his coaching staff, DeMeco Ryans, I think, has the attributes and the traits to be a very good head coach in this league. And the sample size is certainly there. We know what the Niners did last year defensively. How about what they're doing so far this year? And I told you, leading up to the year that San Francisco could have one of the best defenses in the NFL. That is certainly rang true. Passing defense, first. Rushing defense, second. Total defense, atop the league. Points allowed, third. They've been fantastic. How about more numbers? Defense by the numbers here for DeMeco Ryans. Got to show some love to this unit. They've really helped this football team. Points per game, only 13 throughout the first 2 games. Can they do that against Russell Wilson? Hopefully. Rushing yards per game, 67.5. That's a really impressive figure. Passing yards per game, not even 150. 142.5. Total yards per game, just 210. Now, yes, they've gone against the Bears in bad conditions. They've gone against the Seahawks, but still, it's the NFL. Rule changes have catered to the offensive side of the football. Hasn't mattered for San Francisco. And the turnover differential, +2. You continue to add to that number. Don't give the football away and cause turnovers. With all these guys flying around, this defense, they could really pace this unit. And this is why, at the end of the day, you subscribe to the channel. I told you, going back to last year, throughout this offseason, this San Francisco defense is nothing to scoff at. They have all of the dogs, they have all of the depth, and they have the play caller in DeMeco Ryans to make this team one of the better defensive units in the National Football League. And Kyle Shanahan has come under fire for Trey Lance getting injured. Can we give him credit for hiring Robert Saleh? Can we give him credit for elevating DeMeco Ryans? How about Mike McDaniel going to Miami, Tua Tagovailoa, who hadn't done zilch as a passer prior to this year? Yes, he's won a lot of games. 6 tutties against the Baltimore Ravens last week, and they're 2-0. Like, Kyle Shanahan deserves credit for this, and he's deserved credit for all of the dogs that they've been able to bring in offensively and defensively, and the player development that has taken place. And a big key going into Sunday Night Football, beating Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Since 2012, prior to last week, San Francisco had lost 17 of 20 of their last games to the Seattle Seahawks. Why? Russell Wilson. Before last year, he had never won less than 9 games per year. And now, the 49ers can finally exact that revenge against the menace and the guy that has caused them so many problems in Russell Wilson. And the biggest key to the game here for San Francisco, it's their defense going up against Russ. Don't let him get out of the pocket. Don't let him extend plays. He hasn't been running as much. Don't even allow him that luxury or that ability to pick up first downs and break you down with the ability to extend plays and rush it. And also, 49ers red zone defense has been fantastic. The Broncos red zone offense has been atrocious. They have not scored in the red zone up to this point. That's pretty telling. So San Francisco's defense going up against a team that's faltered offensively, they can win this football game. And lastly, Nathaniel Hackett as a head coaching hire coming to Denver from the Green Bay Packers. Nathaniel Hackett has looked like a hack. His clock and game management has been putrid. His play calling has been bad. He's tried to let Russ cook, and Russ hasn't been cooking at all. He can't even flip a pancake up to this point, so take advantage of it. The Niners have the edge on both sides of the football here and the coaching advantage. No excuse to lose this game, even though it's on the road in a tough environment. So, you took a look at the numbers. We broke them down. If you're pumped up about the San Francisco 49ers defense, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, you ain't alive. And if you like what you saw today, hit that red sub button and subscribe to the channel. As always, we greatly appreciate all of you for supporting the show. And of course, we'll be doing a watch party Sunday Night Football against the Denver Broncos.